The question on everyone's mind is, will Hangman Adam Page get another shot at the AEW World Championship? And my answer might surprise you. What's up, you guys? It's the Wrestling Old Head. Thanks for stopping in. You are currently in the portal of pro wrestling, where we talk about the current product, the past product, and the future. So Hangman Adam Page lost his Texas Death Match. It was a Iron Man Texas Death Match. They went over 45 minutes, and they pretty much threw the kitchen sink at each other. I mean, this was a video game type of a match. Light tubes, barbed wire, needles, bricks, blood, and windows, and they did everything but the little pew-pew that I can't talk about because I'm under a minute here on YouTube, but you know what that is, the pew-pew, right? Yeah, the pew-pew. So, Hangman Adam Page loses, and it looks like he's going to be drifting off into the sunset to maybe go and find his smile again. With Hangman Adam Page gone, MJF is now currently still in the Rogues Gallery, fending off a litany of opponents, those being Darby Allin, Swerve Strickland, Brody King could still be lurking in the depths of the dark and murky shadows of the Challengers Circle. Kenny Omega is also swimming around, and you mustn't forget about Will Ospreay, a trajectory of Will Ospreay that could see him challenging MJF if he is still the AEW World Champion by AEW's All In for a full circle moment within that company. There is one thing that I must say about AEW that they are doing really, really well, and they are threading together a very young, very deep main event for AEW. Their roster in the main event scene is really good right now. All of those guys mentioned are young. None of those guys are on their way out, with the exception being of maybe Kenny Omega. But for the most part, with Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Darby Allin, Brody King, Hangman Adam Page to a certain extent, which I will get to later, and MJF are six of the youngest guys in AEW that can lead AEW's main event scene with that type of rotation that can be rotated in different ways for years to come. The fans love Darby Allin. The fans love Swerve Strickland, and they also love to hate him. Hangman Adam Page is starting to get similar treatment, and MJF, forget about it. So with all of these guys kind of swimming around the main event scene, the question is Hangman Adam Page going to fit back in now that he swore that he would never challenge for the AEW World title again? Now, a couple of things come to mind. One being that Swerve Strickland is going to challenge Kenny Omega for the #1 contender shot at the AEW World title this upcoming Wednesday on Dynamite. And the caveat there is that Swerve Strickland is goading Kenny Omega into putting up his EVP title within the company. Now, if Swerve Strickland was to win the EVP, he would have some sort of sway. Now, what that is, as far as storyline canon goes, is up for negotiation. I mean, he could start intimidating Tony Khan behind the scenes so that he can move his political power in favor of him and those that he wants to see in prominent positions. It is very possible, because if he does win that EVP title, it wouldn't just be an EVP title for him. It would be his house. Okay, pun intended, it would be his house. So if it would be his house, there is a situation where Swerve can say, I'm going to do you a favor, Hangman. I'm going to give you that shot, but you got to do something for me. And they can go full mob Godfather style with a type of a storyline like that. I am very intrigued by a storyline like that. They can also do something where Hangman Adam Page ends up fighting and winning the title shot by either winning the Casino Gauntlet, the Casino Battle Royal. He could even be in the Owen Hart Cup. There is a number of ways that you can go about giving Hangman Adam Page, or at least having Hangman Page stumble upon a situation where it's not that he's getting that title, he earned that title shot. So, this is an interesting storyline. Obviously, Hangman Adam Page is probably going to be taking a few months off to recover and then come back either a changed person or that old Hangman Page that has that 5 o'clock shadow that drinks. And there's one thing that I've noticed. Hangman Adam Page used to be a school teacher. I don't remember what grade, but that is something that you can definitely exploit and bring up. Now, whether or not Hangman Adam Page wants that to be exploited in a television storyline is another question. But if he comes back as wino Hangman Adam Page that's drinking at the bar and really down on himself and looking for his confidence again, which I believe produces some of the best aspects of the character of Hangman Adam Page, then they can really utilize that as a form to bring up the emotionality and get us more invested in his character trajectory. And if that trajectory can get us invested in seeing him finally earn and fight and find himself without the AEW World title, or at least the quest for the AEW World title, that can be a very intriguing storyline, something that we would have seen in action movies in the late 80s and early 90s if you know, movies for guys that like movies. However, if they decide to go the other route, then the other route can be that Hangman Adam Page has lost himself, and that it's very possible that he snaps and becomes something totally different, something that requires him not to look in the mirror, something akin to burning down Swerve Strickland's home a couple of years back. And if they go in that direction, it's dark, it's grim, it's depressing, but it's also fascinating for the type of character that Hangman Adam Page is. And there is a forever feud that right now is laying dormant between Swerve and Hangman. They can also be partners in crime. They can be a two-man power trip that is going to try to break the establishment down from within, something that Jon Moxley tried but was unfortunately unsuccessful with his Death Rider stable and hijacking the AEW World title in a storyline that a lot of fans had questions about the interest and lack thereof that they garnered over that year or close to a year that Jon Moxley had that. So with the Swerve Strickland Hangman Adam Page story, it's always great to revisit whether or not they're a team or whether or not they're enemies, and using Swerve to give Hangman Adam Page another shot at the AEW World title is definitely something that they can use as a tie-in that would definitely bridge the story, and it would make sense within the canon. However, if they don't want to go that route, like I just stated before, there's all these different ways of bringing about an opportunity for him to stumble upon that title shot. This is very similar to what happened with Cody Rhodes when he didn't have that last name in AEW and he was just known as Cody. And that ended up, whether on purpose or just kind of like a string of luck or whatever, good or bad, depending on what side you're looking out of, Cody Rhodes ended up leaving AEW and never getting that world title shot again and going to the WWE to thrust himself into the pantheon of legends in the WWE. He was amongst the stars quite literally after he finished his story at WrestleMania 40. So Hangman Adam Page can actually finish that story. He can actually present the option of us actually getting that finality that we didn't get with Cody Rhodes. Now, whether or not they go about doing that is the question. And I do have confidence in the fact that Hangman Adam Page has always had the most interesting character of all superstars in AEW. And if they so choose to go those different routes, or maybe a route that I don't even think I can even conceptualize right now off the top of my head, I'm all for it. I'm strapped in. So, with Hangman Adam Page, ultimately I do believe that he will get another shot at the AEW World title. If they so choose to do that, which I have confidence that they do, hopefully this title reign is three times the charm. It's got to work in his favor this time. He's got to have a real world title run. Not a world title run where he's basically a de facto transitional champion. This can be a real world title run where he has the rogues gallery that MJF has, where there's a slew of guys that are waiting to knock down the door and stop Hangman Adam Page. And I hope we get that for him, because he is a staple in AEW and he has been a beacon for AEW, whether you like him or whether you hate him. So I would think that eventually we are going to get that title run for him that we've all hoped to see, without injuries playing a factor or pivots being necessary or other superstars showing up that end up getting the WWE or the AEW World title and kind of diminishing his title run a little bit. So I am confident in seeing that, but whether or not they go in that direction now or they wait a couple of years, it is completely up to them. That's the con that they have. That's the card that they can use whenever they so choose, especially when things are at a fevered pitch. But I think one of the most important things that the AEW needs to do right now is to concentrate on the story that we all see coming. We all see the light at the end of this tunnel, and that is with MJF eventually standing in the ring with Will Ospreay at All In. So that's what I think about Hangman Adam Page. What do you guys think about Hangman Adam Page? Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this storyline, if you think he's ever going to get an AEW World title shot again, or if he can go after the other 267 titles that are surrounding AEW currently. I kid. Go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below, you guys. And if you like this video, there are more. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you can check out all the videos that I've been able to put out previously and the videos that I will be dropping soon. Guys, this is the Wrestling Old Head. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you really soon. Take care.